Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Dina and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And in this yarn talk we are gonna cover a bunch of different topics. I haven't finished up yet. I have some whips and I do also have some ideas for future projects. And of course, you know, they happen to come quicker than you tend to complete them. So, well, plenty of things to talk about in this yarn talk video. And as you know, we cannot talk yarn without me having my faithful mug of tea here, which today contains my favorite morning blend, which is exactly the morning blend containing some lemon vinaigrette, fennel, lemongrass, and mint. So it's like this nice fresh tea. And somehow this fresh tea seems needed. It's spring and it is raining outside, just like as if it was autumn. In fact, ever since Friday evening, it's been raining and windy and just this weird autumn-alike weather. So I genuinely hope it's gonna be better later this week. And of course, we're also gonna talk about what's else gonna come up on the channel this week later. So let's start with the finished item. And I decided to go hard through. And that means that I finished this lovely zigzag scarf. And you can very easily see the gradient. The thing is, this unfortunately, I would say, turned out a bit at the shorter end. So I used the full cake. And we ended up at 130 centimeters of scarf. And it's 25 centimeters wide, which is a good width. But if I have had an extra cake, I would probably have option to add that at the end and then make it go lighter again or something like that, to ensure you could like wrap it plenty of times around your neck. So this unfortunately sort of is just like a one-time wrap thing, or 1.5 could be, I would say, because it's pretty short here and it's pretty short here. But you know, the yarn itself is very nice towards your neck. It's not super scratchy or itchy or anything like that. I could probably long-term wear this, certainly against my neck. It was a nice project to make, and I think it ended up getting some really nice texture as well in this whole project. It's weavy, it's curly, it's, yeah, I think it turned out like a really nice project in the end. But yeah, certainly if I've had an extra skein, I would have made it twice as long and I would have spent double the time making it. That's just how it is. But I'm happy it's done. Because yeah, well, getting a new cake or a different cake or an extra cake is a bit not as easy. They seem to be sold out everywhere. It could also be children friendly, or sometimes just like one wrap scarves are also quite cool, I guess. So that's kind of how this one turned out. And then when it has to be talking about these ongoing projects, I still work on the baby blanket. And the baby blanket it progressed pretty well yesterday, I would say. This is how much I have left of the first skein. So I'm almost at the place where I need to change yarn, or in any case, add a new skein. And this would be the current size. And if I turn it around, you can see where I ended up last week. So since last week, I've added almost 2 rows. Because yeah, I added 2 rows. Wow. Because well, actually it's 4, because you add the row where you insert the shell stitches in, and that row is pretty quick complete. And then I complete, so that's the first row, and that would be the second row. You can see that's added 2 full rows. So this is a size of 150 gram skein. It's progressing nice. I will need to block this blanket because it is not straight in all edges. Again, this is for me just to experiment with stitches and learn some stitches, and just to have a blanket laying around should I ever need one, because, well, you know, as I mentioned, I'm at an age where many of my friends seems to be getting children. I'm going to add the next white skein here, and I know that I have more white, and then I have the pink, and I want to add the pink as a border, as at least 3 or 4 row border, and then 1 or 2 rows of white on the outside. And I have, I think, 2 skeins of pink, and I have 3 skeins of white. But then I bought some more yarn from Ice, which gave me another, I think, 4 skeins of white or something like that. So I have plenty of white. I'm not to be worried about that. And I really love this white because it has this sheen to it. Just makes it nice. A little bit girly maybe. And of course, I'm also progressing well, but not as well on my Leaf on Me vest. The reason that hasn't been going as fast is because I decided to go full in on this one. I really busted my ass off this weekend because now I had just gotten it into my mind. I wanted to finish it because I have ideas for new projects, and I found yarns as well for the projects. I just need to get started on them, but we'll talk about those in just a minute. When it comes to the Leaf on Me vest, I reached the length where I had to change yarn, and I have brand new yarn cake here. And I finished just 1 more row of the repeat of the pattern. And it's now the size where I need to prepare making the arm gaps. So I need to decrease a little bit on each side to create the arm gaps. I did already sort of weave in the end. I just need to do some cutting. But yeah, so one pattern repeat is basically what I reached since last time. Again, mainly because I've been focusing a lot on the scarf, and now again a bit on the blanket. I need to sit down and read the pattern as to how I best possibly complete these decreases, and then I need to do another bit of crocheting until I am at the top, and then I need to prepare for the 2 side panels, and then they need to be sewn together. So this is something I'm sort of as well looking forward to finishing. I think this is a really nice summer vest for a slight chillier day without it being too chilly. As you can see, it is a nice airy pattern which has some really nice leaf effects. I will probably also need to block this actually when I'm done. But yeah, so that's the Leaf on Me vest. It's still lovely yarn to work with. It is this hobby Twister solid cake that I am working with, and it's I have 4 cakes for this project. Each cake is 100 grams and 400 meters of yarn. They recommend crochet hook size 3.5 to 4 millimeters. I am using a 3.5 for this project. It's 55% cotton and 45% acrylic. I think I totally forgot to mention that for this yarn, or for this project, I used the Angora Gold Ombre Batik from Elise. And that's 150 grams and 825 meters of yarn. And my recommendation is, if you want to make a scarf like I did, get 2 of them if you want to make sure you have lots of lengths to do a few times around. That's heads up and recommendation. And of course, this is just 100% acrylics from Ice, a very nice soft acrylics. Yeah, so that was my current finished and ongoing projects. So we should talk a little bit about my future projects. One of the projects I'm dead settled on getting started is a bag, or it's probably more like, I don't know if it's a bag or it's a wallet. It's in Danish they would call it like a cosmetic wallet, but it's just a tiny bag which can help me hold notions. And in this case, my crochet hooks. So of course for this I need a zipper. I found myself a 25 centimeters long zipper. And I am going to use some yarn that I had originally bought and intended for another project. But guess what? I forgot to save the pattern. I've been searching, and I've been searching for a long time, and I cannot find the pattern. Either it's because it might end up being a knitting pattern. I thought it was a crochet pattern, who knows? But I cannot find the pattern. This is also why I've started literally, when I see a pattern I want to make, I save it instantly on my PC, because at least then I just need to look through my PC for it, and I not need to try to figure out where I had found it on the internet and try to remember that. This Notion pouch wallet thingy is going to be made with the Mayflower cotton yarn, which is a 8.4 yarn, I think, or 4.8. Ah, Jesus, what's it called? I think it's 8.4, 4.8, 48 yarn. It's a thin cotton, so it's 100% cotton yarn. It is this jeans-alike color. I have 3 skeins of them. This pattern says I need 100 grams, not 100 grams, 90 grams or something like that. Each of these are 50 grams, and there are 170 meters of yarn, of 100% cotton yarn in them. I have to double layer them. So with a bit of luck, just with these 2, I have enough to finish it. That's kind of what I hope. I have a bit of reserve here, and also I can easily use that for a different project, I'm sure, for some amigurumi or whatever. So yeah, 150 grams, not 150 grams, 170 meters of yarn for 50 grams. It's Text branded 100, and it can actually be boiling washed, so you can boil it at wash it at 95 degrees, which is kind of boiling temperature, and you can even iron it. And they recommend crochet hook size 2.5 to 3 millimeters. It's the Mayflower cotton, and they call it number 8. It is an 8.4 weight. And I'm going to, as I said, double these up, and I'm going to use a 4mm crochet hook for doing so. And I'll just make this tiny little Notion pouch for my crochet hooks. And I think that's mainly going to be my prim hooks that's going to reside in it, but we will see. As a start, I just need to make it. And we'll see what's going to contain afterwards. But I'm curious to make it because it's different, and it's something where I need to incorporate other fibers than yarn. So as the zipper, and this zipper is not one I bought for the purpose. It's actually one I had laying around in a little stock that I received once a while ago. But that's gonna be interesting in any case. Then later this week, I need to make a gauge swatch to check gauge. Because if you remember, on Easter Monday, I had an unboxing from Tweedehands Woolwinkel, in where I bought some soft sensation yarn. At least that's what it's called. Soft sensation. And it is so insanely soft. So yes, I agree with this soft sensation. Yeah. I don't do a bunch of makeup except my moisture cream. This is super soft, absolutely gorgeous, lovely, and it's 75% acrylic and 76% acrylic and 24% polyester. It's 25 grams per ball, so they are really light, 25 grams just. And those gives you 200 meters of yarn. It's a hand wash yarn, and you can't iron it, and you can't tumble it, and you can't do a lot of things with it. Basically, they recommend knitting needles 4.5 to 5 millimeters. And the gauge should theoretically fit the pattern I found. I want to make the fireflies better with it, and I got 6 skeins of each. They have to be double layered. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold a strand from each of these together to create this sweater. And it's like a slight oversized sweater. I will be making it probably in XL to ensure there is room for my booty and my upper parts. And yeah, so I need to make this gauge watch to ensure that it's gonna fit, basically. And if I don't remember wrong, these also require a 4mm crochet hook. I am probably gonna look at making this watch on Thursday, because Thursday happens to be King's Day, so I'm not at work on Thursday. And that gives me time to like fiddle around with more things than I normally do. It's kind of like a weekend, we don't have big plans. For the channel, I do have one big plan, and that's a yarn haul from Pletta. And of course, it's an orange yarn haul because it is King's Day, and we are in the Netherlands, and the color of the royal house is orange. Much more on that to come. You will see that Thursday, because I will dress up for the occasion. And that's also why the yarn haul is going to be on Thursday, and the giveaway will be on Friday morning instead. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, so I have to make a swatch to see if this fits the gauge and stuff, and if it does, I will be starting on that sweater as well, slowly. Though if it's gonna be the 4mm crochet hook, I still need to figure out what hook to use where. I do have a few 4mm hooks, so I should be fine in that sense. And then I just have one more project that I want to start, which is basically like the third project. But this is not going to be a project that will be finished anytime soon. This is me trying to see if I can figure out designing a shawl. It might go all the way to the dogs, or I might actually succeed. But I want to use this green cotton cake to do it with, which is like a lovely, lovely green on the outside and this lighter green on the inside. Almost like minty color. So yeah, I want to use this cotton cake for designing. The cotton cake here is 250 grams, and for 250 grams you get 1,000 meters of yarn. It's from Stanley, so it's one of the many Pletta yarn cake hauls that I've done. I think this was in my second yarn haul. I will link to that yarn haul in the description box down below should you feel like rewatching it. So it's a pretty recent yarn haul I made, I think two or 3 weeks ago. It's 100% natural soft cotton, and they recommend crochet hook size 2 to 2.5 millimeters. It is a thin yarn. I'm not really sure yet what crochet hook to use, but I will have to test that out. Yeah, but there are a few things. So this is basically just for me showing you this lovely cake. It's a colorway 313 if you are interested in the cotton cake, and it's a nice soft cotton. It is a thinner cotton, and looking at the strands here, it has this lovely center pull even. But if you look at the strand here, I think I would say it's even thinner than the Mayflower. Or comes pretty close. Let me see if I can actually get this better somehow. One moment. Oops. Or they come really close at least. They come really close. It's a fine yarn. I think they classify it as a 2-weight. And it's definitely, it's finer than, if you know, the like the Iron Arts Rose Garden or the Cotton King Sultans. This seems finer than them, not by much, but just by a little. For me, it's not so much about the yarn for the shawl or scarf that I'm going to be making. I just need to have something to play a little bit around with, and somehow this felt like a good choice. Yeah, and I don't really know how it's going to go, basically, because, you know, it's me fiddling around trying to figure out how I can make things symmetrical and how I can include the patterns I have in my mind and stuff like that. I'm at least curious, because it gives me a good challenge for the days of thinking, and I will keep you posted on that update as well. So that's pretty much everything that's going on here right now. For the scheduling, I did quickly tell you, and I'm gonna tell you once more. We are having a Platter Yarn Haul coming up on Thursday, on King's Day here in the Netherlands. That's April 27th. On Friday, we will have a giveaway that will contain some Stanley cakes. Stay tuned for that, especially if you are interested in Stanley cakes. And then next week is also gonna be pretty exciting, because next week we have, of course, the weekly yarn talk, where I will tell you and show you my progress on these various projects. But we also actually on next week, Tuesday, have my official 1-year podiversary. And I'm debating that I may just as well get on and celebrate that one with you guys. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. I should say, if you have watched this video until now, thank you so much for your support. Trust me, yeah, it really makes me so happy. But it also it's just pure enjoyment for me to share what I am making here with my crochet adventures. If you haven't done that, please like this video, thumbs up, especially if you enjoy my yarn talk videos. Share it if you want to. If you haven't done it yet, do subscribe and hit that notification bell, because, you know, here I post everything from yarn talks, yarn hauls, giveaways, tutorials, and much more. It's just yarn and crochet related, and slight bit of knitting. Sometimes have a few words of knitting, but generally I crochet, and that's what I do. That's at least what I'm best at, and that has to do, I think we talked about it once, with crochet hooks, you just have one tool to control, and when you knit, you have 2 items to control, and sometimes it seems easier to control just the one piece. It takes a bit longer, at least. But hey, we all have our reasons for doing either one or the other, or we even do both. I do sometimes think about getting some knitting tools and start knitting again, but I haven't gotten around it. Maybe also because I have so many crochet projects I need to get done first. Maybe one time out in the future, who knows, I'll be sitting and knitting. Thank you so much for your watch. It was such a pleasure giving you this week's update. So 1 finished projects, 2 work in progress, and 3 projects are coming up on this channel. And of course I have many more things to come up. It's just some of the many ideas I decided that I wanted to share with you guys. Take care, stay healthy, happy crafting with your yarn. Until we see you again, take care.